This meeting is June 30th, 2026, the last meeting of the month. Do we have any changes to the tentative agenda?
I have none.
I have none.
Okay. Next, we have meet with department heads and elected officials. Start with the invisible man in the corner, Rodney Bleasner.
Good morning. Everything's going pretty well. Nothing new to report today.
Okay, sounds good. KG, what's going on with Sheriff's Department?
Good morning. Let's see. We had the 4th of July parade in West Burlington this week. And it's always a well-attended event. I guess along with that, just a reminder, be safe with your fireworks. Consumer-grade fireworks, while they're sold and they're legal in the county during certain times. Just be safe with them. For display fireworks, you do have to have a permit for those. The parade, it'll be at 4 p.m. and then they, along with several other locations, have a great display of fireworks. So hope to see everybody out there. Yesterday, I got to attend an event it was hosted by the Attorney General's office by Brennan Bird, and the FBI director was there. We got to work with, on a nationwide level and on a local level, just kind of hear some updates on what's happening. To be quite honest, it was pretty refreshing to hear what they're doing. Some of the things that seem to be a little bit out of our reach here that we deal with fraud schemes on elderly, cryptocurrency, Chinese fentanyl coming in through cartels through Mexico, those kinds of things that we work cases locally, but how those kind of integrate with the federal level and what they're doing, it was amazing to hear the things that are happening. So we've talked about some partnerships that we can do. Currently we have task force officers in our office with the U.S. Marshal's office, so we're exploring some options with a TFO with the FBI office as well. So we'll move forward on that and work with them on that and see what we can do. But other than that, that's all I've got for this week.
What's a TFO?
Task force officer. So it's a deputy that's deputized as like for us, we have 2 U.S. Marshal task force officers. We're going to look at doing one as an FBI task force officer.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You good, James? Yeah. Okay. Brooke Marlin, Veterans Affairs.
Good morning. Nothing really new to report. Just keep them busy.
Okay, sounds good. Natalie Steffner, Recorder's Office.
Good morning. Just keeping busy as well. Nothing new to share.
Okay. Brandon Mamer, IT.
Just keep them busy. Nothing really new.
Okay. Keeping on. Janelle Nally Lundquist, Treasurer's Office.
Good morning. We're just keeping busy too at the end of the month, end of the fiscal year, and I do have an agenda item amended appointment letter because I picked up a wrong line item with the original. Anyway, we're keeping busy.
Sounds good. Natalie Steffner, Recorder's Office.
You did not. Good morning. Well, this time I do have a few things to say. Just know you passed that time already. Sorry.
I got you before. I thought I'd get you again. But anyway, Chris Lee, Conservation.
Hi, good morning. It's hot out there, so
You got that right.
we encourage everybody to be careful doing your outdoor recreation activities. The team has been coming in early trying to get things done before it gets super hot in the afternoon. We'll be getting the rest of the boat docks out. The river would come up and then come back down, so we're going to get the rest of the boat docks out so people can be out in the river this weekend. I want to remind everybody that fireworks are not allowed in any county park. We'll be chasing those around like whack-a-mole all weekend, I'm sure. But yeah, they're not allowed in any county park. I know with the law change, whatever it was several years back, you can have them in the county now, but you cannot have them in county parks. Other than that, we've got a break this week from summer camps. With the short week, we don't schedule any camps this week. We always had a hard time filming this week anyway because everybody's traveling and doing family and holiday stuff. So just trying to catch up on a few things administratively, end of the year and stuff. We've got our board meeting tomorrow. We'll be talking about the USG mineral rights sale, and then that'll have to come here because that's technically a real estate process. We've done it before, so there's precedent for it, but that'll be coming. That's about it.
Campsites all filled up?
Surprisingly, no. We were just looking at this morning. We got a number of sites still available at Big Hollow. I suspect they'll probably fill up tomorrow and into Thursday, but I think maybe this heat is kind of keeping some people away. Normally we fill at the end of last week and then we would just stay full, but all the reservable sites are taken, but the first sites, we still got a few of those left.
Satisfied? Yep. Comments, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. County Attorney's Office, Mr. Trent.
Yeah, we've got the agenda item with the resolution for, is it 1804 Douglas, the old Can Redemption Center, to accept that offer. Everything else still moving forward.
Okay. Keep it moving forward. Sarah Marie, Auditor.
Good morning. Sue and I attended the auditors conference last week. That was fun. We're always great to hear what other counties do and learning new things all the time. But other than that, it's end of fiscal year, so keep plenty busy.
I know that you are. And last but not least, Ryan Carter, County Engineer. Did I miss anybody? Jared.
Here we go again.
I know, man. He's on the front row.
Recorder gets twice.
Hey, you're important to me. That's what he knows.
Well, I don't have a whole lot. Just kind of the usual thing here. We got several minor subdivisions working through kind of an assembly line here these next few weeks. I just handed one out this morning. Probably have one from last week on next week's agenda, and then I'm expecting one or two more within the week. So that's nothing really major, just one or two lot minor subdivisions working through the system. So, and then there's one other agenda item for today.
Okay. And our beloved county engineer, Brian Carter.
Something. Okay, a couple things I want to mention. One, as much for the public in general, but also Kevin's information, we will be putting up the 60-mile-per-hour stickers tomorrow. It's July 1st. It's when the new state law goes into effect. So everything will be enforceable by code. I thought that would make it easier for him. And I think in general, I can't speak to every single county around us, but it sounds like the average approach in this area is what's happening. Timing wise as to when they get their stickers and how they do it, because they order new signs too, and that takes longer. I couldn't tell you, but I guess the one thing I will mention to the general public as a whole, pay attention when you're going from county to county on county roads, because not all counties are doing it this way. Some counties are uncomfortable with turning everybody loose at 60 on their roads and keeping everything at 55 through a resolution process. So it's you need to pay attention. The other side of this, I mentioned this before, I want to mention it again. Just because the magical wand has been waived and roads are going up to 60, it's going to take us quite a while to evaluate curves and kind of no passing distances. There's all sorts of stuff that link to speed, and it's just not going to happen by snapping your fingers, nor is it free. So we will start into that process. It might be a little bit closer to winter because we're in the middle of construction season, but we've been talking internally and start evaluating curves. So maybe some more curve signs we have to put up, and those are really more advisory, which honestly, if you're a local, you're probably not going to notice any difference and drive however you've driven. But folks that haven't driven our roads before might come across a curve when they're driving 60 that's a little uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than if they were driving 55. So there's some safety issues tied to that, but I don't know, that's what happens when they change the code on shorter notice, I guess. I also want to mention, I got a email complaint about a location in the county that's compiling some junk vehicles and such in theory on the right of way. I haven't been there to look at it. This is a location that probably 20-ish years ago we went after, and the board decided they really wanted to go after it. So once I have a chance to look at it and have a better feel for what's going on, I may end up having a work session with you. But we actually took law enforcement and tow trucks up there and dragged junk onto flatbeds and hauled it away from the right of way in front of this gentleman. He's an habitual problem. So once I have a better chance to look at everything, I'll get in touch with you guys and or we'll have a work session, whatever it is, and see, you know, how the board wants to go, since it's got a history to it already. I believe there were some threats actually previously. I think that's one of the reasons law enforcement got involved that time, was because he threatened some people over the incident. So Kevin probably remembers that. It was the only occurrence I've ever remembered.
Kevin remembers.
From our perspective, if a vehicle isn't registered or it has flat tires, if it's broken down, it cannot be on the right of way. We'll tag it, we'll let the owners know, it can't sit there. We've seen some of those issues kind of popping up a lot with the right of way that's been taken over, or the roadway that's been taken over from 61 from DOT, where people just kind of start claiming it as a parking spot.
Yeah.
It is legal to park on a lot of roads unless otherwise marked along the side of it, but it cannot be a unregistered vehicle or broken down vehicle, flat tires, that kind of thing. It has to be mobile and it has to.
So anyway, I have not had time to get there. I just want to give you a courtesy heads up. That's why I'm not giving you a location, because until I've seen it, I'm not going to throw a person under the bus. It may not be a big deal, maybe minor or whatever else. Because the email complaint also, of course, you got to hit any area you think is advantageous. So then it talks about rodents and raccoon. You know, it hits anything that you can hit. You've all seen this before when somebody's unhappy with a neighbor. So I'll take a look at things and kind of assess it from there. So I want to mention that, and then I would mention too, because we've had a call or two about this. Utility companies are going around. Overhead power companies, will be more specific, are going around basically spraying and killing trees that are underneath their power lines, so that they're easier to cut down and clean up in the future. Somebody thought that it was us. It's not us. I mean, they're running around. I saw them a couple of days ago. They've got a couple gators, and they're just soaking these trees with a chemical that kills them. And had some other people worried about drift and stuff like that. So I haven't seen any example of that where it's, but I'm sure it's catching the attention of some folks that really didn't think about that tree underneath the power line in their yard being a problem, or along their frontage or whatever. So they'd have to contact utility companies about all of that. But typically overhead power lines have the right to keep trees from becoming a problem. So actually, since we all like electricity, it's probably, I don't know, entirely bad thing. But just as a heads up, if you hear something about that, call me so we can make sure it's not us, but there is a possibility it's the utility companies. Good possibility.
I got an email about that earlier, end of last week, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And I just called my brother, but yeah, it was confirmed it is Alliant that's doing that.
There you go. So, and I don't know if it's just Alliant. I think it might be more than just that, but.
Well, they're doing it though.
Yeah, I'm good. So that's why I bring it up, because it's absolutely catching attention. So, other than that, there is a lot of stuff going on. Pleasant Grove is making headway, albeit slow. It is dried out now. They're pouring out some dirt. We'd like to see it move along a little quicker, but we've expressed that, and at the end of it, if they run out of time, they'll pay damages.
I'd like you to blacktop the road that I have to take to get to the church. You know, it's all gravel, so I need you to blacktop that for me. Yeah.
Crazy. If only there wasn't a way to drive to Mediapolis and use all pavement to get there.
He's a funny guy.
I just want to throw that out there.
That's why you hope your toe hurts. Anyway.
We just had that conversation this morning actually about camping. So, yes, ma'am.
How long will it take you to change the signs from 55 to 60?
Well, we're only using stickers, so they should have it all done tomorrow.
Oh,
We don't have that many of those signs in the county, since 55 is by law, speed limit. Unless there's signs, we only have to go hit the ones that actually say 55.
And it's only 60 after the signs have been changed, correct?
Yeah, which will be tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I mean, the guys should wrap it up by noon. I think there's between 15 and 20 signs we need to go put. Otherwise, state law. So if it's an unsigned road, I mean, the only way we're changing signs, keep in mind, is like when you go through a little town somewhere, and you come out the other side, there's a 55 sign where the 35 or 45 ends. All the other roads tomorrow morning or tonight at 12:01, you snap your fingers and they're 60.
Okay.
So,
Unpaved roads are 55 in daylight,
by code.
50 after sunset.
Yeah, it's just paved. It's just paved roads.
Right.
Yes.
I thought gravel roads were 45.
No, 50 at night, 55 at day, during the day by code.
I'm good then.
Yeah, I'm about to say, that's a question asked by a proficient speeder, but anyways.
Yeah, good. Anything else?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to mention, I want to thank Kevin, actually. And I want to mention it here so that it gets into the newspapers. We have had a rash of sign thefts. We go through little spurts where clearly a kid gets old enough, and next thing you know, I say a kid, that's probably some sort of bias, but I bet young, right? And all of a sudden, a couple signs will disappear in a certain area, and then they mature a little bit, and it's kind of a pain to take signs down, to be honest with you, so then it goes away. Well, this is more than a rash. This is somewhere, I'm guessing, between 20 and 40 signs. Taking the signs, sometimes they're saw cutting the whole post off. Like, this is to a point where if they take the whole post down, then we don't know a sign's missing unless somebody in the public notices it, because it's not like we just drive around looking at. And so my sign guy is actually driving around with a tablet on the dash, trying to identify where a sign should be that isn't there. And we're talking about maybe, like, bridge posting sign is an example, which is not a sign that people normally take. It's all types of signs. We actually ran out of stop signs because there's a fair number of stop signs. So I got a hold of Kevin. I appreciated his effort because I certainly caught him right before a weekend, and this certainly isn't a hot topic for them, but I think he threw it out on Facebook, put a little pressure, and we'll see if that turns into anything. Hopefully the halting of it, but I would like to note that if there is somebody out there that is aware of this, the best thing they could do is find somewhere, put those signs where we could reuse those signs and walk away and quit stealing signs. So that would be a really nice scenario to save us some money and quite a bit of effort that's already happened, actually. But I know that Kevin's guys are out looking and paying attention. But it's also very dangerous, and actually if there's an accident caused by the lack of a sign, for instance a stop sign at an intersection, and they figure out who takes it, the liability can be actually quite massive if you're the direct contributor to a serious wreck. So there's bigger consequences than most kids think about, and it's become quite the headache. It's the area I would describe it as would be just north of Burlington, kind of a broad area from Burlington up to I'd say roughly Meekers is what we found. Keep in mind we're still finding the stuff that's gone, and roughly I'd say kind of from the river over to Irish Ridge. It's kind of a rough area of the county, so I suspect probably within a living area of 1 or 2 individuals, if I had to guess, too. So.
And what period of time, 20 to 40 signs?
I wish I could tell you.
Okay.
Kevin asked me the same thing, but we don't necessarily know a sign's missing. Obviously, stop signs are really obvious, and people call about those really quick. But when a bridge posting sign disappears, or for instance, they took all 4 corner markers off of a bridge, we don't find that out unless we randomly drive across it. And actually, if I drive down the road, I may not even think about a bridge posting sign not being there. A lot of times it's a local or my sign guy that now that we know what's going on that picks up on it. Because that's what he's doing now in between everything else he needs to do is driving around down in that area trying to identify other signs that are gone. So that's why I say we know it's north of 20, but I'm going to guess 20 to 40 at this point. So just want to mention it, and I would strongly encourage anybody that has any information about it, probably be secondhand. It'd probably be somebody, bragging somewhere at something or something like that. Give law enforcement a call.
Probably gonna show up like on TikTok or Instagram or
Yes.
whatever.
One of the reasons I called Kevin is I was hoping his deputies could pay attention, because the next thing you know, you see a signpost sticking out the back of a truck. I mean, they're 12-foot posts and maybe every bit of 10-foot. And so, or you drive, his guys are out and they catch some reflectivity off leaning against the side of a barn or something like that, because at night it would stick out like a sword, just something like that, so they could have their eyes open to it. So I don't know. Hopefully it comes to an end. It needs to come to an end. So hopefully the public pressure will at least help that, and maybe we can even recover the signs to, again, save some tax dollars.
All right. Anything else you got, BT or BC?
No, that's it.
All right. James, you good?
Adelaide might have something else.
Nat?
She's
You know, hey, you're giving attitude. You're giving attitude. But just before we move forward, Natalie, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Not at this time, thank you.
Nobody brought in any signs to record?
She's selling signs over lunch break. All right, let's go into public hearing. We have a public hearing for request for floodplain development variance for 400 Edgewater Beach Road for Ben Brett.
Motion to open public hearing.
Second.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes. You wanna get that party started?
I'll just give a quick background here. I gave you a staff report that went into some more detail, but basically this involves an issue that came to our attention a few months ago. We had notified you at the time when it first came up. Evidently through a miscommunication, a misunderstanding, there was property on Edgewater Beach, there's a row of river cabins up there northeast of Burlington, where construction had gotten pretty far along on a brand new river cabin, which had not obtained any county permits, or the county floodplain permit, let alone the DNR or Corps. And it's within the regulatory floodway of the river, so it's the more restrictive of the flood zones that are regulated by the floodplain ordinance. We determined that the property was purchased by the current owner just last year, and there had actually been a discussion with the levy and drainage district last year because they needed a permit. They knew they needed a permit from them since it's in close proximity to the levy. And they went through their process and approved that, acknowledging that the cabin would be raised on piers and it would be in basically a place of where a cabin had been several decades earlier. But no one informed us about it at land use at the time, and so unfortunately, basically there are some requirements in the floodplain ordinance that number one, any new development would require a permit prior to construction, but particularly for the floodway, anything would need to be prove that they would not cause a rise in the floodplain elevation. So that requires a more intensive analysis than your typical flood fringe development, where that's just the base standard, where the floor has to be, the lowest floor of the dwelling has to be 1 foot above the flood zone, which applies here too, but it's just an additional requirement that it can't cause a rise in the flood elevation due to that being expected to be part of the moving channel of the water during a 100-year flood. So we communicated with the landowner at the time, made them aware of the issue, and then we've been working with them as well as the DNR ever since to get a handle on this and figure out the next steps. I mean, technically, given that it was built without a permit, if we had found that it would have been non-compliant on any of these requirements, that it'd be a very different story. But fortunately, we determined that based on an elevation certificate that they got from an engineer, the lowest floor of the dwelling as completed so far is 7 feet. It's 7 feet beyond the minimum clearance that's required. So they actually did go substantially higher than even the minimum necessary, where it's raised on those concrete piers. And then in addition, DNR had some data available to assist with an analysis of the rise situation, and ultimately determined that individual building on its own, because the bulk of the structure is raised above that flood elevation, would not cause a rise in the flood elevation. So both of those are very, very important determinations there, because there is one other requirement in the ordinance that's tied to that, basically that any new construction within the floodway cannot be used for human habitation. That's the terminology they use. Basically, the intent is to not allow any additional permanent residences to be built in the floodway. However, the ordinance does include a variance procedure for situations where someone's proposing something that doesn't comply with all the minimum ordinance standards. It has some pretty strict guidelines in there that a variance can only be approved if there is a no rise determination and the DNR grants concurrence that the variance in that particular case would not be detrimental in any way. And so as long as the board is comfortable approving that variance, it requires the DNR to concur as well. And fortunately, in this particular case, we've already obtained that concurrence based on that no rise finding. So essentially, this is just a formality to address the fact that as the ordinance reads, the bare minimum standard being that you would not allow a new dwelling to be built in the floodway. And so basically this variance would allow the already, not 100% completed, but mostly completed structure to be occupied as a residence following completion. So any questions? I did not receive any public comments about the variance after the newspaper posting.
Any word to the county auditor's office?
I have not heard anything on my office either.
Any questions, concerns from the audience?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes. Next, we have a resolution 2026-041 for floodplain development variance, 400 Edgewater Beach Road. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie.
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Jared, thanks for that email you sent Saturday on that.
Yeah.
That helped.
Yeah, like I said, we notified you initially when this first came about, so it's been on your radar, and then this is just to make sure we're clear on the process that's been taking place since then. And that was a little nerve-wracking for the landowner at first, as you could understand, but obviously we had requirements and given the way that the ordinance functions with those particular national floodplain standards there, it took a little effort to get to where we are, but I'm glad it ended up the way it did. So.
Well, and I think the moral of this story is really with this. So there was a violation. We saw there was a violation, and this homeowner worked with you guys really well, and you guys were able to work. I mean, that's my thing. Like, it's not hard to work together to get things within reason, and sometimes I think your office you contact somebody and they're just fighting right away.
Right. Well, sometimes it's how a property is being used, whether it qualifies as a junkyard or not. People argue about definitions. I mean, in this case, it's pretty hard to avoid a 2,000 square foot cabin that just shows up. So
It just seemed like they were willing to work with us, and we worked with them. It doesn't have to be hard.
Let's say that again.
It doesn't have to be hard.
I like those words. Hey, Sarah, I forgot. Did you want to mention your shadow today?
Well, I wasn't gonna call her out, but okay. Mariah in the back there is job shadowing, so she's listening to all the fun things that we do here in the county during our meeting today.
And she told me this morning that I'm the best. Checking for lightning.
I told her this morning I had a granddaughter named Mariah. She said, "I'll bet it's not spelled the same way." And I still can't spell it the way she's spelled it. M-I something.
MIRAYAH.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be on your best behavior.
I think it's a little too late for that. But anyway. Next we have accounts payable claims. Just for the record, this is, I'm gonna have Rodney Bleasner touch on it, but this is a prepay for equipment. We don't have all the equipment yet, but we needed to pay for it so that we could make sure we get it here on time. Rodney, you wanna touch on
Yeah,
that?
correct. This is for some wireless security access knots for your courthouse. So obviously being a security thing, they just don't have these sitting on shelves. So it's lead time's taking a little longer than expected, but they've ordered them. We got the The door, back plates, are here, so we got some pieces, but we don't have quite all the locks yet, so. They're hoping to try and still get them here before the end of the month, but that's not 100% yet, but they're ordering on the way.
Okay. Importantly, our auditor, Anderson Larkin, suggested that we do this.
Yep.
So this is,
Thank you for bringing that out.
the motion to approve the accounts payable. Go ahead. Didn't mean to-
I second it.
Okay.
All right, Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Sure. Next, we have a resolution of the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors authorizing the Des Moines County Emergency Management Agency to apply for and administer a rural business development grant, the RBDG, and designating the Emergency Management Coordinator as the authorized representative.
The emergency management applying for that RBDG grant that'll fund an emergency battery backup bank. The battery backup will provide support for emergency responders during assisting individuals who rely on electrically powered medical equipment during a power outage or a similar emergency. There's no match required for the grant, so it won't cost the county anything, but the grant does require this board to pass a resolution naming Shannon, the emergency management director, as the grant administrator.
Well, I guess you said everything. I don't have to read
So
this letter.
I would make a motion to approve that resolution.
I would second that.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes.
Thank you to Shannon for bringing this stuff to us.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sorry to jump in here with a slightly different subject, but I see we've got Kenny Olson sitting there. A few months ago, Mr. Olson contacted the county and let us know that there was a $90,000 grant available with no match for the purchase of a solar powered generator. So Shannon got busy and got all the necessary signatures, and we applied for that. And we got the grant, got $90,000. We're getting free. I don't know if it's been delivered yet. I know it's been ordered because it had to be before a date. So anyway, so.
It arrived last night.
Oh, perfect. Anyway, I wanted to publicly thank you for that, so that put a face on you, and we otherwise, if you wouldn't have come up and told us, we wouldn't have known it. So thank you.
And thank you, Tom, for bringing that to the.
Thanks for Shannon as well. Like, she has been very instrumental in all of this. I know she's on vacation right now, but you guys have a great asset in her, and kudos to whoever hired that individual.
Thank you.
I think we ought to give we ought to give Kenny a golf clap. That's all you get, but you know. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You ever see him golf, you never clap.
Yeah, I always get the golf laugh. That's what I get. All right. Next, we have an employment contract for our county engineer.
I'd recommend approval.
Now is your time, guys. Now is your time.
It's I mentioned before, I thought the wrong part about it.
Is there gonna be public comment?
I'm afraid not. No time.
Now you don't have much to say. Go one time.
And I'll go right to number 15. What everybody wants to know. The engineer's annual salary for fiscal year 2027 will be $159,352. Future years will be determined annually by the board and engineer by mutual agreement.
That's in the appointment letters too, so just so everybody knows, it's not just hidden in a contract.
Move to approve.
Second,
Moved in second. Sarah Marie,
Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Tom Broker,
yes,
Shane McCampbell.
I suppose.
and with a thank you for all the hard time we give you. We appreciate that. That's a job I would not care for.
Keeps the job interesting.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of good people in a lot of different directions.
Okay, next we have F, amended appointment letters for attorney, treasurer, and conservation. Sarah Marie, you wanna, are they?
There was just a couple discrepancies and a couple of the salaries that we had listed on there for the union contract, and a couple other things. So we are just adjusting those to be correct for fiscal year 27 start date.
I've got 3 pages of this. Do you guys take Sarah Marie's word, or do you want me to read through all of them? I'm good. All righty then. I'd like a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Yep. Next we have G, Resolution 2026-043, to dispose of property at 1804 Douglas Avenue, Burlington, Iowa. Stevie Franchise.
I'd like to make a comment on this one too. I was contacted by a reliable source. Both at the, in the document, it says the seller is to pay half of the broker's compensation, and the correct amount is 2.5%. The decimal point doesn't show up very well on the line underneath it, and so I was contacted. I said, is that really 25%, or shouldn't it be 2.5%? So thank you for bringing that to my attention. But just so everybody knows, it's 2.5%.
You know, it says to dispose of, if I dispose of anything, I throw it in the trash.
Also recycle them.
Huh?
You're supposed to recycle.
That's what I'm recycling.
It says, whereas Moines County desires to dispose of interest in real property, and whereas the county, after consultation with the assistant county attorney, has the authority to dispose of real property pursuant to Iowa Code Section 331.361. Whereas the county has received an offer of $150,000, and whereas the county has received no other offers. Whereas the county intends to sell the following property to Jeremy Dameron in accordance with the terms in the attached offer, and the offer is at $150,000. So, does anybody have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Yes. Now, Stevie, I've got some spots here that I need to check with you afterwards to see if I need to. What? In here?
No, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
No. I'll leave this right up here, Thomas. Which brings us to personnel actions. We have 4 of them. We have one for the recorder's office. Well, let me see here. The recorder. Our first one is for the recorder's office for Renee Kohler.
Kaler, sorry, now you have me all.
Discombobulated. All right. I've got a way of doing that. It's for other for 61.25 hours unpaid leave from June 9th to June 19th. That's it. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, Sarah Marie?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell.
Yep. We also have one for the treasurer's office, Janelli. It's for Jennifer Phillips, Clerk 1, MV Tax Department. MV, that stands for motor vehicle. It's her anniversary, a 30-month step increase. Her previous pay goes from $43,200.86 to $44,105.10. Effective date starting the 2nd of July. So I got a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Sarah Marie?
Tom Broker,
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yep. Can I get Jim Carrey today?
Too fast.
Next, we've got one for the local health department. It's for Drew Tucker. He's a CNA. It's 8 hours of unpaid from 6/24/26. Move. And
Second.
Sarah Marie.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yeah. And then I have two for the attorney's office. We'll do them both at the same time. I have Blake Vieira, Assistant Current County Attorney. It says promoted from first assistant attorney, county attorney.
Two first assistant.
Promoted to first. You got a bad attitude today, Trent. No, thanks, man. I'm going to say, promoted to first assistant county attorney at $129,815. Her previous rate was, his previous rate was $98,999. So that's effective the 1st of July.
Motion to approve. Oh, wait, there's another.
Yep. And then I've got Kay Hagan, receptionist, records clerk. It's her anniversary. Congratulations. 42-month step increase, $43,701.87, effective the 4th of July. So
Motion to approve both.
Second.
it's moved in second. Sarah Marie.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Shane McCampbell?
Yep. Too fast for you. Next, we have the minutes for regular meeting on June 23rd, 2026. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Sarah Marie?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Shane McCampbell?
Yes. Okay, future agenda items. We'd still like to get something set up with the department heads sometime soon, especially while I still got the guru with me, just to go over what next year is going to look like with the 2% cap. So to see what your budget's, what you guys feel it's going to look like, and give us an idea of where we're going to be. So I'd like to bring that forward at some point in time here pretty soon. Do we have any committee reports? I had one, but it was canceled. We didn't have anything to vote on, so.
I had none.
I had, we had an executive board meeting at regional planning. And the executive board, they approved a 5% raise for Mike Norris, the director. And also Mike has done a thing, and Ken might be also interested in this, but I encourage you guys to take a look at this packet I've got. It's on nuclear energy that the state's talking about.
Okay.
And give some input on that. Ken brought that to us before, and so looks to me like that's what things might be coming to.
Well, that looks like an interesting read, so yeah, definitely
That's
share
what
that.
I've got. So I'll put this on my desk. You guys look at it. Sure.
Appreciate it, yep. Now's the time we come to public input. If you'd like to call in, you can call in at 319-753-8282. That number again is 319-753-8282. You can always email us at board@dmcounty.com. That's board@dmcounty.com. We'll give you 2 minutes to initiate that call. Is there anybody from the audience that has a question or concern? Or needs to get something off their chest? Kenny Olson.
Good morning, Kenny Olson, Des Moines County. I just wanted to talk about two things. First, I sent each of you an email that has a list of facts surrounding energy siting. It covers battery, wind, solar, and all that. It was put together by a group from the University of Michigan, and it's just all fact-based. They went through and found reliable resources to look at for each one of those. They're not biased or slanted, but it does a great job of just providing information on those. So check that link out if you would, if anyone else would like.
When did you send that?
I sent it this morning.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it yet, that's
Oh,
probably
okay, I thought I missed it.
I found it to be a great resource so far, so I encourage all that. And I would also just like to talk about the two grants. They are somewhat related. I wanted to thank Shannon and all of this. Again, she's just been wonderful. And also the Clean Energy Districts of Iowa, who are our, kind of umbrella organization for the Des Moines County Energy District. Just to reiterate, we did get a grant for $90,000 that includes the solar trailer that's being delivered today. We're going to drop it off the sheriff this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're going to do some training beforehand. It's going to be unveiled at next Thursday's farmers market, not this one, but the Thursday on the 9th. We're going to do our best to power a couple of the generators that are being used on Jefferson Street, quiet everything down so you can actually hear some of the live music. Steve New is the builder of that. He's up from Florida. He just dropped it off this morning. I thank him for all of his efforts. He threw this thing together like fast, but he's also got his own YouTube channel, so you can go through and watch build it if you'd like later.
What's his name?
Steve New, N-E-W. And that grant, along with this other grant that we're applying for that you read the resolution for this morning, has some portable batteries. We've talked with our local hospital and ambulance service, and a lot of times when we have power outages, people will call 911 because their CPAP isn't working, the refrigerator's going down, and they have insulin in there. But when the ambulance comes out, all they can do is stabilize the individual. And so what we're trying to do is, between the trailer and this lending library for batteries, is just provide a community asset to help people not only in power outages, for sure. That's the main goal of this. But hopefully those would only happen on maybe a once in 5-10 year basis. So I look forward to working with you guys and Shannon on using this trailer as an educational tool as well, which is part of the language that we used when we initially applied for the grant. So we're looking forward to taking it around to schools, doing it at events like our farmers markets and things like that. I really look forward to sharing it with the community and showing everyone how it works. So if you guys have any questions about it, I'd love to answer those. Otherwise, we're going to drop it off with Kevin this afternoon and wait for Shannon to get back from vacation so that we can play with it.
Well, for goodness sakes, take a picture of it and send it to our email. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it get. You got one?
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think I saw, I don't know if it's the one that we got, I saw like a prototype or something, or I don't know if it's the actual one that we got.
You got it.
We're going to save some lives, man.
So it's a 7 by 16 foot trailer, got panels on the top, and then on both sides, it folds out into either direction to capture the sunlight from the right angle.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so on the inside, it's got enough battery to power a standard American home for 4 days. I've watched too much bad TV and apocalyptic movies. Like a power outage is a big thing. If it goes for more than 3 or 4 days, I've seen The Simpsons too, and I know what can happen. So we're trying to find something that we can utilize for extended periods.
If you'd had that up here Saturday, it was out of power there at Culver's and Wild Wings.
Well, there and at the co-op, the senior center that's right next to there, they were out as well. So that's what it's for, I mean, backup generators are great, but the sun's free once you get this built. Anyway.
As long as it's not a nuclear winter.
Gotta be prepared for everything, Tom.
He's been watching a lot of bad TV too.
I know it's all bad TV.
You got The Simpsons, so that's.
That was a great reference, by the way. Anyways.
Thank you again, Ken.
You bet.
No doubt, Ken. Hey, people like you that make people like me glad to know people like you. Is there anybody else in the audience? I see none. But we went over well 2 minutes with an eye we're adjourned. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll come back with our work session. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we have a work session this afternoon, it's for regarding mileage reimbursement.
Close the door.
This morning.
Thank you, Brandon.
Still morning.
This morning. Thank you for the correction, James.
He's speeding the day up.
I had missed it, I just, when I saw that number for a trip, I just didn't want to make sure I had some information correct, so that's why we're tabling it. So, let's get into this. That's a lot of money for mileage, and I'm just wondering how come, my question was, just looking at it, my only real question is, why not fly?
I'm not a flyer. And I talked to Cheryl about
Thanks,
that
Appreciate
after
it.
a meeting, we stood here, Sean was at his desk. And she said we have to accommodate the employee, so we kind of discussed it at that point that I would drive to Reno to the national training.
Yeah, but the grant pays for that though, right? And the rules of the grant say you have to fly.
Under the state, it says if you don't fly, then they would reimburse to the cost of an airline ticket. So for the $3,000 grant, we submitted for 3 different trainings to them for reimbursement to get the max of the $3,000 from the state of Iowa. And so those trainings were in April, May, and then the national training beginning of June. In April, the reimbursement was $444.80. The May reimbursement just came actually yesterday of $534.80. And then from the national training, the reimbursement of $2,020.40 had came June 22nd. Those deposits all have been made to the treasurer's office. Those would be for reimbursements of hotel costs. The first 2 had some mileage on there to Johnston, and registration fees and hotel for all 3 trainings, maxing out the max of $3,000 from the state of Iowa for that grant.
So the
How much did you get on that 2001?
The last one,
Yeah.
$2,020.40. And that one had the $2,020.40. That one had $40 for the registration, or $400 for the registration fee. The hotel cost of $1,494.30, and then reimbursement for meals was $408. My meals for that training were, let me see if I got that number, $270.24. So there was reimbursement above of what I spent for the meals. I know that, but that was an allowable thing to max out the $3,000 grant.
We don't just spend money to max something out.
No, I'm saying this was the max reimbursement
I
from the
get that.
state.
But you discussed with the auditor's office before that you were gonna reach out and see if they were gonna cover mileage rather than,
Yeah, and when I
Fair.
talked to,
and you did not get back to the auditor's office with the yes, they would, because the way I understood it at the time is you were gonna get back to them and said, yeah, they're gonna pick up the mileage, or no, they're not.
yeah, when I talked to Gavin Sandick at IDBA, he said you would be best to turn in mileage, instead of mileage reimbursement, get your hotel, the registration, and meals, because you're gonna get more reimbursed to your county versus the airline ticket.
Did you talk to the auditor's office about that?
I believe one day Cheryl and I stood in there and I had said, you know, I'm gonna turn in for the hotel costs and this and that to get the max we can reimburse from the state.
So the last that we had discussed was, we had gotten an email that said that you had this grant opportunity and you wanted to take advantage of it. And so we discussed how you were gonna get reimbursement. We were under the impression that the entire grant was gonna pay for the entire trip. So that's why when you discussed driving instead of flying, we said to touch base with them and make sure that they were gonna reimburse you for that mileage, because we didn't want you to see you drive out there and not get reimbursed for it.
Sure.
So I never heard anything back after that, if you got approval from them for mileage or whatnot, and then all of this came about. So we were under the impression that it was not coming anything out of the county dollars, it was all being paid by this grant, was what we were under the impression of when we discussed this.
Okay. So
like I said, I maxed out the 3,000 that I could get from the state reimbursed. Where do we go from here?
I don't know, we maxed out your budget.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, we overmaxed it out.
Sure.
And, close as I can tell, nobody goes through, expenses like you do, that I'm familiar with in the county.
Okay.
I can't imagine somebody driving to, Las Vegas or Nevada or wherever the hell it was,
Yeah, Rena.
saying, here's Reno, that's in Nevada.
Mhm.
That's, this is something you talk to them about, and you're wanting to max out this and max out that and max out there. We're gonna get the most money from them we can, so we can reimburse you for it.
Oh, I'm not asking for,
No, I'm just, well, yeah, you're asking for $2,000 worth of reimbursement for mileage or whatever the number is, right?
$1,990.44.
well, originally I thought the reimbursement rate was 30 cents. I didn't know that it changed. My original that I turned in was $1,047.80. And then Lane came to me and said the mileage reimbursement changed. I didn't know.
Yeah, well, that's,
And I understand you're not, having the heebie-jeebies about flying. I do too. So whenever I have to fly, I always go to my doctor, and he gives me some calming down medicine so I can make the flight. But it's a lot cheaper to. It is a lot cheaper to fly.
I don't like to fly either.
What do you guys think?
Brooke, you went to Kentucky, was that a national conference
It
too?
was. Mhm.
And then you went to this conference here. You only have to go to one national conference a year,
Per year. Mhm.
but you went to two of them.
So the way that
There's
the
one in July and one the following June. That's still all in the same year.
fiscal year. Mhm.
If you'd only went to one of them, we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now.
Okay.
You're gonna have to learn how to run a budget. We don't have anybody else in the department that doesn't know how to run a budget. Go talk to them. You spent $1,800 on hats for outreach, which you're allowed to.
Mhm.
With $37.50 a hat,
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
it did come back a lot
Well-
higher than expected.
Well, you should have known what it was when you bought them.
The original quote was not for that amount.
Well, then I would have argued with them. I mean, $37.50 for 50 hats, 50 of them, $1,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and we won't be going that route again, that's for sure.
So, you need to run a budget.
Do they have national conventions any closer than Reno?
Each year it rotates where they hold them. So I believe the next one, so usually they have 3 years listed on their website where they will be. The next one,
So the two you went to were for different years?
yes, the national runs January through December. So for the national, yes, it was different years.
And I thought we had something that said for a county employee, because you're still getting paid even when you're going on those trips where you're not going to miss out on any money. But we had to do a limited, like the cheapest, spend the cheapest, least amount of money. Am I correct on that? Am I making that up, or?
Well, what are you talking? Are you talking meals? Are you talking mileage? Or what are you talking?
I'm talking about the whole shebang. I'm talking about that.
So normally for mileage, we have them take a county vehicle, especially if they're going super far distances.
Yep.
And then you buy gas with the county credit card. And then for meals, it's $25 a day for a half day, $50 for a full day per meal. Or I'm sorry, per day.
Is it what? Did we not have a vehicle available, or?
We didn't get asked.
I really don't know the process of asking for a vehicle. Could somebody?
So
I can jump in.
Brian's got the vehicles out at secondary road.
Yeah, somebody please tell me, because I have no idea.
We have 2 Traverses
Okay.
that we make available to anybody and everybody, just as first come, first serve.
Okay.
So you call out, you talk to Adriana or Becky, whoever's available. Adriana normally handles it. Or you can email, which actually email's even better because then there's a record. But it doesn't matter. And then they'll check the calendar, see if they're available. Sarah actually used one last week. We actually have a new one coming in, so we're cycling an old one out. But they're both Traverses, and yeah, that's what we do is we schedule them out.
Okay.
So it makes it easier for people to have a vehicle that's reliable because we maintain them in our facility.
Sure.
So There might be some others, but that's our facility, and we do let other county employees use it.
And we have one too. Ours is used by the task force often, probably more often than
Yep.
not. But, yeah. Okay.
I would like to say, just moving forward, I don't want to feel like I'm, jumping on you. A lot of this I'm finding out on the back end, and maybe that's my fault, but communication is key. I think if everybody knew exactly what was going on before it went down, that we wouldn't be here right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we'd all know the deal and everybody would be okay with it. But yeah, I didn't get the full information on that.
Sure.
James, Thomas?
This was you discussed this with the auditor's office. If you've got any questions, you know where they are, you can ask them. You could ask those questions long before. You've got 2 of those in the same fiscal year. You blew up your budget. As far as I'm concerned, you didn't get back to them about the mileage so that they knew what's got it. I would not approve covering that.
James?
Well, I'm at the point where the mileage, I'm still stuck on the outreach stuff. There's shirts and the hats and the coins and all that was bought. What it could have been put to your training. Your training and that, you should consider that first.
You couldn't tap into the 10,000 for training until you maximized the 3,000. So the 3,000 had to have been hit before you could tap into the 10,000 for any training. Now, my understanding is the 3,000 is going away this year. So that won't even be an option for this coming fiscal year.
Yeah, I came up with the mindset to pay part of the bill. I still thought, there should have been better communication, and it's not just about you, it's about all county employees, that we send a message that, we need to be, when we go on trips, that's all good and fine, but, everybody needs to know what the deal is, and, the vehicle, if you don't like to fly, I would suggest you meet my doctor. He'll give you a pill that'll put you right to sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad that you know now, and I guess, we need to have those meetings.
What are the meal restrictions?
I believe it's $25 for a half day, 50 for a full day,
For the day?
for the day.
What are we spending on those?
He's got the thing in front of him on
Yeah, but I don't see anything I'm not finding anything on food.
The meals for that national training was $270.24.
Let me go grab.
This is just the mileage.
Was that a 2-day training?
It was a whole week.
Whole week.
And when you're talking about mileage, because there are scenarios where people end up using mileage for some reason, I believe, isn't our county mileage rate lower? I mean, I don't know what mileage rate, because
It's been lower because we
it's
want
not
people
federal,
to
is
use
it?
those traverses so we don't run into this.
Mhm.
And we raised the mileage rate recently, and I don't remember exactly what it is.
There are 2 different rates, so there's a county rate, and then of course there's the federal rate.
The
that
federal
people
rate
use,
is
but-
well above, but we changed the county rate.
Yeah, there is a
recently.
county rate. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Was 30
It
cents
was
since
30
I've been here.
cents.
But we raised it up.
So do we know what the cost of an air flight, of a flight would have been?
Not our problem to look it up. That's
I just know from experience
I
on a
don't
trip
know.
like that, it's usually cheaper to fly.
It is.
I think you'd have.
I guess the idea that we're gonna max this grant out and max this out. I hate maxing out budgets or grant this or that. That's
No,
that's
I'm not
right.
saying max our budget. I'm saying get the max we could from
We've
the
already
state.
maxed our budget out.
Mhm.
We've gone over that, so we did that too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I was
looking at
hoping to
maxing out this or that.
The
it's,
full
uh,
reimbursement
For,
from the
for,
state.
for a reimbursement, just spending it so we can get reimbursed. That's how you max out the reimbursement.
Alright.
Say, well, we're gonna spend more, then we can get reimbursed more.
Sure.
I have a philosophical problem with that. I don't do that. I don't know anybody here that does. What?
Carla has those receipts and she's with the job shadow gal walking her around, so I'll have to
Get those
get
numbers
those,
later.
yeah.
Well, are we ready to make a judgment with the information we have, or?
You can't vote in
Well,
a
we're
work
in,
session.
we're
so
in
you'll have
work
to-
session.
we can't.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right.
You can get the sense of the board, or
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd like those numbers from Carla, and
I'll
we'll,
get them for you.
get this on the agenda for next week so we can get her handled.
Yeah, I do know the total number for the meals. If you want that, I can give you the number.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
$270.24.
Say how much?
$270.24.
That's 5 days, right?
That would have like, tip and such in there as well.
that's.
Did you have a
$50
hotel room going out there?
The tip.
I paid for my own hotel going out.
Paid for your own
Right.
hotel going out.
Yeah, I didn't put that on the county. I only put the hotel for the conference.
Okay.
I'm also unhappy about this just getting thrown up at the last minute. Nobody thought you were gonna get a hold of somebody, we knew what was going on. All of a sudden, here comes a bill for whatever it is. That's, nobody likes surprises less than I do.
For sure. I understand.
Are there any other questions? You're good? You good, Thomas?
So to speak, yeah.
Okay.
I do have one other question I had talked to Sarah about, which I'm fine with not turning it in, that's totally fine. The April and May trainings, when the state reimbursed for mileage, they reimbursed at their rate of 54 cents, I think it is a mile. I'm sorry, 50 cents a mile. And I was reimbursed my mileage already at 30 cents. Now, the April one, I had turned in a claim to Lane and got the difference. I got that reimbursement check yesterday. I'm fine with not turning it in and getting the $70.40. Originally, Lane and I had discussed when that check came, I would turn this in, but I'm just not gonna turn that in.
What's the rate now?
So we're at 57 cents now.
57 cents, okay, so we're higher than the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I got my reimbursement for that one, it was at 30 cents a mile, and then the difference between us and the state, of course, was 20 cents, so that made a difference of $70.40, but I just won't turn that in, that's fine. But I just wanted somebody to know that the checks and balances there, you know.
Thank you.
Yep.
Trent?
There's time before you guys have to make any decisions on this. I think I wanna contact, our employment one too. I mean, we wanna hear from her before we make a decision on denying or, something like this. I mean, honestly, I don't know. So I'd love to give you sound legal advice. Sometimes the sound legal advice is call and get legal advice, and I don't know for sure where we're at. If you guys want to reduce it, I mean, want to look at that. I mean, yeah, if the budget went over, that's a whole different. That's totally your guys, 1,000% your guys' bailiwick. But I do want to look to see where we're at with that and let you guys know.
Are you gonna need an extra week for that, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
I guess my, it's to my knowledge, I haven't ever talked to anybody at the county that's talking about, well, I've got some money left, I'm gonna spend it, I'm gonna max out this budget. And I realize if it's a grant that you're gonna max out, that means we're just gonna spend stuff to get reimbursed for it. I don't think that whole philosophy is gonna work. It certainly isn't gonna work.
Everybody's good?
Yeah, I guess. in the future, keep buying freebie stuff. You know, that's fine. You can do that with this grant money. But if you're gonna do these trainings, that comes before
Sure.
anything. And make sure, and I still can't, they come in higher than what the quote was. We shouldn't have paid any more than what the quote was then. You know,
If that makes them unhappy, send them to talk to us.
Sounds good.
All right.
I wear a $5.50 cap.
I don't wear a cap.
Mine says Pioneer on it, so in theory it's free.
So it's free. Cheers.
And I'm not gonna tell you what I spend on seed for that free cap.
Mine is bald and sweaty. Thanks, Jim.
I don't want to mess up my hair.
Yeah, it's a legitimate concern.
I think you ought to get a tattoo on top of your head.
People are doing it these days, you know.
I know.
Yeah.